Children are confused about what color of pen they need to take to the board. She comes from a very poor background and please make her pass, otherwise she's going to hang herself.
Sometimes we may give an 1 mark extra in certain points where we feel okay, the student deserve half marks, we can give 1 extra there.
Have seen in many papers, students write very silly things like, "Oh sir, please make me pass."
Yes, yes.
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been many days that we have not posted any podcasts, but here we are. And today I have with me some of my colleagues. We have Mrinal Debnath. He is a teacher of science and maths in Don Bosco School. Then in my left-hand side, I have Miss Lipika, who's my dear friend. She is from the Department of English. Then we also have the most OG of Don Bosco School. I think everyone will recognize him if they look at his face, because he has been there for many years teaching in Don Bosco School, and he is from the Department of Social Studies, Mr. Ratneshwar Bhomik. So welcome all of you. So today's main point of discussion and the reason why we have gathered here is to talk about some of the common errors and mistakes that children tend to make in the board exams. So board exams are, coming nearby. It's February, right? Yes. So 15th of February, the board exams are starting. The children are getting anxious, nervous, and tensed. So our discussion will be mainly kind of like little bit pacify the anxiousness that the children are going through right now.
Or the common errors which the student usually while writing or attempting question in the exam.
Yes. So first of all, we would like to know from Sir, what do you think are some of the common errors that children make in exams, board exams? What are the things that you have noticed in so many years of checking the papers of students?
Good morning, everyone. As Miss said about the common errors that the students usually make. First of all, I'll tell one thing: remain chill. There is nothing to panic. Okay, don't get tensed. It will be quite easy. But the thing is that you need more of revision. In the month of January and February, you need more revision. One thing that I would like to tell is that the common mistake which the students usually do is regarding word limit. Okay, so there are 1 mark questions, 2 marks, 3 marks, 4 marks, 5 marks, and map questions. Map will be from history as well as from geography. 2 marks from history and 3 marks from geography. So first you have to choose how to start. Should I start with 1 mark questions or 2 marks or 3 marks or 5 marks? So you have to plan it out. So what I mean to say here, stick to the word limit as well as points. Say for example, I am telling one point. If you take say 3 mark questions. So 3 marks, it should be minimum 40 words. So 40 words, also at the same time, it should be 3 to 4 points. You should not exceed the word limit, neither you should fall short of the word limit. So for 5 marks also, and also the case based. So we should see that what I am doing actually is whether I am sticking to the word limit or not. So this is one common error they make.
So now Lipika, tell me in English, what are some of the things that you see that children make very silly mistake which they can easily rectify?
So students, they commonly they make mistake. They don't go through the question and they don't write according to the question what is asked. Actually, they have a misconception that anything, whatever it is asked for, let's focus on 5 marks question. They usually write the summary. They don't go through the question and analyze it out. That's the main mistake I feel the students they make. They just write the summary and they come out. And moreover, they very good point that the sir told about the word limit. We write for 150 to 200 words or 120 to 150 words. It's been already mentioned in the question, but the students, they don't follow it out. Next, it's a tense. If they are writing answer in the past, they are to write in the past tense. They mixed up all the tenses, grammatical mistakes that we see in certain cases like subject and verb agreement. They don't follow it out. So I feel this things the students, they usually make mistake, and that too out of tension maybe, Uma, because students are under pressure. Students, they should be confident, I think, because without preparation, they never go for examination, right? They are prepared. So they need to chill out. And today's discussion is for that only. Students, they need to be chilled out in the examination hall and without stress. They know that they are prepared. They are confident. Yes, they are not to be overconfident, right? But they are confident and they know the answers and they will be writing.
One more thing that I would like to add here is also I have seen that children don't mention the names of characters. That is, most of the time they just start with pronoun he, she,
Yes.
and then ends the answer with that. So if I'm talking about 1 mark answer, still maybe it's considerable. But if I'm talking about long answers, then only with pronoun it will not work. You have to at least mention the name of character, name of the chapter, name of the authors. Most of the time they continue writing the answer with the poet, the author, without mentioning the name once.
That's what we say.
Yes.
Na? The presentation of the answers. Presentation of the answers is very important.
Yes.
And that they don't focus on it, right?
Yes.
So hope after this, the students will be focusing on this and they will work on it, right?
Yes. So last but not the least, we would like to ask Samrinal about his subject matter and what are some of the things that he commonly sees in board exams.
More often than not, I found parents as well as the students, they say that, while they practice at home, they find that they do very less mistakes. But when they write in their exam, they does more of the silly mistakes. There are multiple points to take care of it during the exam. Let me put it one by one. First of all, students get panicked because of the time thing when we talk about mathematics, because they want to finish the paper quickly. And in the process, few of the mistakes which they does are like this. They do not read the question properly. So when they do not read the question properly, let me give a small example. A question can be like this. Which of the following are not a quadratic equation? Or which of the following are not polynomial? Now, there are a few options which are given. One can be polynomial. One need not be a polynomial, maybe some other answer. Here, whenever they see, if the question is like on polynomial or quadratic equation, let me focus on quadratic equation. If they find the answer for quadratic equation, they will tick there.
Yes.
So the not word over there is where they miss out. This is one of the very common error. This is because they rush. They want to attempt the question very quickly. Second point can be this way, like they copy incorrect data. If I talk about volume surface area, we have length, breadth, height. So over there, length is given certain values. They do not copy it correctly. And that's how they feel that they have done it very correctly. They also say after their exam, they have done it very well. But when they see their grades or marks, they are not happy because they copied wrong data. They have done the calculations correctly. Everything seems to be fine. But when they check their paper, they find their error there.
Yeah.
So these are some of the common errors that generally I see while going through their papers.
Yes, I totally agree because just few days back, I was teaching my son, he had maths exam. He's in grade 4. So when I told him to, copy the sum, it was just an additional sum, but he copied the first number from the same number that I gave him and the other one from the next one.
Yes.
So when he added, I saw that it was a mistake. So these are some areas that children can focus. So just see that you are taking a note of the correct data when you're writing down in the answer script. That can maybe save you, lots of marks.
Also mental calculations. I'll tell you very simple mental calculation where student make an error. If I give a simple example, like 7 11s are 77 it is. But when they are writing their board exam or a basic exam in school, the same multiplication thing when they does mentally, since they are in a pressure kind of situation where they need to cover a lot of the other questions also, if they make it in many cases it was found that they do not write 7 11s or 77, it becomes 85. Just an example that I'm putting forward. There are other such mistakes also. So when my suggestion in these cases can be, you can also use your pen and paper technique, which you generally do, so that it takes a few extra seconds, but it avoids that mental calculation error thing. Though we can do certain calculations, we can do mentally, but again, when you write your board exam, you are under certain pressure, which you can feel.
Okay, so let's talk very simple, basic things, board exam. children are confused about what color of pen they need to take to the board and what. So, according to you, what do you think is the right pen that the children can use for board exams?
It should be always blue ball pen. Okay, because there are specific pens assigned by different evaluators. Okay, like for AHE there is a separate pen. Okay, purple pen. For head examiner there is a different pen. There is a black pen for coordinator, and the evaluators will check it in red. So what I mean to say here, you should always use blue ball pen. If you need to underline something, you can use your pencil. Okay, so presentation, yeah, that's it. So you have to be very careful about the pen. And also, I would like to add one more thing. Presentation play a very important role. When you start an answer, you should plan out how should you present that answer. Okay, so presentation is also a vital factor you should take care of.
I think so. In terms of pouch, also they need to carry a transparent pouch. Yeah. So for the pencil, and since sir have already mentioned that blue ball pen is the only pen that the children should use, and even after instructing so many times, I have seen while giving duty also that many children tend to write with black pen, isn't it? Which is not actually allowed. Yes.
Because CBSE have assigned certain color codes for various, like it can be evaluator or the head examiner which are spoken. So student must use blue ball ink pen for writing their exam. And the practice should start in the school itself.
Yes. So that means there's no more confusion, right? So blue ball pen. Ink pen we don't usually recommend because that might be smudging because of that.
One more thing, especially for class 10 students. This will be their first board exam. So when you fill up your names, when you shed, so you have to be very, very careful that there should not be any error.
Or else they can go to YouTube and see how this OMR sheets are being filled up. Practice it once. Even you can go for mock test and all. Lots of sample papers are there where mock test papers are given. You can practice, and they can also go through YouTube once, so that everything is clear out. So that they can make less mistakes there, because whiteners are not allowed to be used there, right?
So next, let us talk in details about a few of the mistakes that the children make while attempting and writing those answers, right? Question wise. For example, in English, the common mistake that children make in the passage is, if it is out of any 10, they tend to attend all the 12 questions. In that case, what happened is, if they have attempted all the 12, then we will be checking only the first 10. Then we will just strike off the last 2. And most of the time what happens is they write the correct answer in the last 2. The first 2 might not be correct. So you have to be careful. Yes.
Next is, Uma, they don't go through the instructions, what is given there. So it is given there, answer any 5, answer any 4. So they don't go through all those instructions. They keep on writing all. And most
Sometimes
importantly,
they're not able to complete the
paper. Why? Because they are wasting time writing this, because they don't go through the instructions. And I feel each and every students, for each and every subject, they should know the blueprint of the questions.
Yes.
So that they so that they know, they are very clear out with how many sections. The students I met where they don't know how many sections they have in English. Usually we know that we have 1, 2, and 3. That means section A, B, and C. They don't know. They were answering me section D, E, whereas we don't have so. So students, they should know the blueprint of the question paper, where they should also know, they will be knowing about the marks distribution, how many marks, question number 7 is of how many marks. So they should clearly know the blueprint of the question paper, so that it makes them easier to write, and the proper time management is done. And moreover, I feel like they should at home itself, they should practice sample papers, giving a time allotment for each and every answers, so that I feel then they can complete their exam.
15 minutes is given to you. So there only, so as to save time, there only you can plan out. Okay. Say for example, those optional answers. In case there are choices, you can already select that very particular time, those 15 minutes, vital minutes. You can choose, okay, I'll be answering this question.
Yeah,
So
10,
that way,
15 to
yeah,
10,
so that is planning. That's what I was telling. So planning is very important. Initially only you plan, those 15 minutes are vital minutes, magical minutes. So you plan out. Okay, then immediately you can answer. While answering, you won't waste time.
In
Sir,
those
would you like
15
to add
minutes-
something?
Yeah. So talking about the reading time, which is 15 minutes given to the students, I found that student usually, some of them, start solving questions within that 15 minutes. Now, I do not suggest the same to my students. What I say, when you got those 15 minutes, over there, you prepare certain sets, which are my easy questions, which are my medium level questions, and which are like hot, higher order thinking skill questions, which may require some extra time. So once you have those 15 minutes of reading time, go through the entire paper, use some kind of short forms, E for easy, use certain tags so that you can better understand, so that I start answering. Once the time begin for writing the exam, I can begin with the easy question. And let us suppose you do not know an answer, maybe question number 10, you do not know the answer. Leave some 3-4 lines. Maybe the answer may be of 2 lines. You leave some 3-4 lines, because anyway there are a lot of extra pages given, and you can also take additional sheets. Keeping that in mind, it will help to boost your confidence as you solve all those easy questions, and also yes, medium level questions. And later on, once you save your time, you can go and attend those hot level questions which you feel may require some extra time. As a result, your confidence will also be nice, because in the beginning, if you get stuck on a particular questions, it impact your confidence very badly. That's where the series of errors starts. So this is one point which can be kept in mind during the reading time. Those reading time should be used for reading the question paper and marking different level questions.
Yes.
It may help
In
them.
R3s, it is different, right? In English, we know that for both for class 10 and class 12, section A, it's a reading section, 12 marks and 10 marks. So here,
Section B, creative.
yeah, nah. So let's if we focus on section A, I told my students, as soon as they get their paper, then it's question paper, while going through those reading time, go through this, try to solve reading section. Reading section, again, the students, they get confused. Many students, they waste time going through the passage. Here we don't need to go through the passage, Uma. We can just go through the question and start finding the answers. Find out the answers, keep it ready. This 15 minutes, actually for English, we can utilize 3 hours, 15 minutes, right? So within 15 minutes at least, first question or the second question, we can solve it out. So they get 3 hours, 15 minutes to solve the question paper. But usually they complain that the question paper was so lengthy and they could not complete the paper. But
Yes.
time management, they can use it out right that, so that they can complete their paper on time, and even they can keep 10 to 15 minutes for revising, which is very, very important. And the students, they don't do that.
So next, let's come to a lively discussions. We have all checked papers of board for 2-3 years now. Some of us have checked for many years now. Mrinal, tell me, what is one thing that really annoys you when you go through the paper?
While going through the paper,
That sequence.
yes, first of all, sequence. The second point can be the handwriting at which students write, and the third point, like in spite of so many reminders that they must use blue ink pen, some of them would be using black ink pen. So those are the 3 very important points. My suggestion over here can be, you can go section wise. Some may feel like this, that I want to start from case based questions or 5 marks question. So you start with a particular section and then go sequentially. If you feel you do not know the answer of a particular question, skip some lines. You can skip some extra lines also. Okay, no problem in that. But if you annoy your evaluator, there can be a scenario where it is, again, we are human. When we check the paper, we are human. Sometimes we may give an 1 mark extra in certain points where we feel, okay, the student deserve half marks, we can give 1 extra there. But once you annoy your evaluator, no, you can lose as well. So sometimes it may backfire. So this is where I feel you should maintain the sequence. Also, you maintain a clear handwriting. You need not have a, some handwriting which can be very nice, like you can complain, but you maintain some neat strokes so that your teacher can better understand.
Lipika, what was the most annoying thing about checking?
Mixing up the sections, writing question, meaning answers, all section A also, C also, everything together. And that I told in the very beginning, 5 marks answers, students, they think that if they write the summary, the teacher will find their own needs. So that's very annoying. Writing long answers without word limit.
I wanted to add one more thing. Like, I don't know whether I should say it annoying, and it's not for every student, but I have seen in many papers, students write very silly things like, "Oh, sir, please make me pass."
Yes. yes.
Right.
Yes.
Or, like last year, I think so we've got one paper where she was saying that she comes from a very poor background and, please make her pass. Otherwise, she's going to hang herself. So those things, I don't think so. But you need to mention that, right? It might be true in your case, but then you don't need to focus it and, talk about it in the answer script. Yeah. So,
stick to your basics. Write legibly. Don't exceed the word limit. Clear handwriting. As sir said, maintain the sequence. That's it.
One more point, sir. Don't waste your time, the answers that you don't know, and don't panic yourself. Go to the next. If you get time, get back to that particular question and try to solve it out. Questions are all are made where answers are there, and you are quite enough prepared to answer all the questions. Don't panic yourself. If you don't know, jump to the next. And if you have time, come again and rethink again.
Agree on that point, because you may miss out like a 1 or 2 question. It is understandable. You skip that, attend rest of the questions, and then you spend enough time on those questions. It's no use of spending some extra 10 minutes there, and then later on you feel the pressure of completion of the paper.
Your nerves under control. Don't panic. In short.
Finally, let's listen to each one of them. What are their message for the students who are sitting for the board exam? Both for class 10 and 12, we are going to start the board exam. So, Sir Mrinal, we will start with you. What do you have to say to the students who are going to sit for the board exam?
My message for all the students would be like this. Check the question properly. Reread the question. Check whether the datas are corrected nicely. If required, you recheck once again. During the mental calculations, be little careful. You can also use your pen and paper. Write in a proper sequence. And also you can examine your paper thoroughly. Make sure you keep 10 to 15 minutes to re-examine your entire paper after finishing your entire answer script. And be confident. I know you have prepared well for your exam. All the best from my side.
Some tips for students before their preparation is create a study schedule. Okay, what you have to do is plan your study time and breaks around your most productive time. Set goals. Okay, set clear, specific goals for each study session as well as subject. Take breaks in between. Okay, take breaks. If you are studying say 2 hours, take a break of half an hour or 40 minutes. Get enough sleep. That is very important. Okay, so that your brain also needs rest. A good night's sleep can help you think more clearly. Organize your study space. Choose a quiet, well-lit place where you can sit and study. Simulate exam conditions. Practice in conditions. Practice as many questions as you can. Okay, there is, I'll suggest one Super 10 practice paper. You can practice that one also, Super 10 by full marks. Find your brain, fuel your brain wisely. Eat well and stay physically active. That is very important. That's it. Best of luck. Do well.
Dear students, my last message for you all is to practice regularly. Very nice point that Sir Ratneshwar told. To practice regularly, practice sample papers which are in the markets and CBSE sites. Google it out. You can get hundreds and thousands of question papers, sample question papers. Then also try to solve 10 years questions and stay organized. Timetable is very important. Breaks, you take breaks. And also, very importantly, try to prioritize your difficult areas. Like you're weak in maths, give more time in maths, but don't neglect English also. The students, they always neglect English. They study the previous day and sit for the exam. Please, for God's sake, please don't do that. Practice, especially the writing section that you never ever practice. But before the exam, you just go through and see the format and you just go. You think yourself the great man, well prepared. Please don't do that. It's an honest request from both of us. So please practice regularly. Next is very important is to take care of yourself. Okay, have proper sleep. Eat very healthy food. Don't go for any fast food and restaurant. Please stay away from it, do all those. And next is, we can say that a fresh mind is more productive. So be always active, okay? Not with other things, but with studies. Next is believe in yourself. We all know that you all are prepared. You all are set for the exam. You are confident and most importantly, avoid comparing yourself to others and focus on your mind. Okay? Study hard. All the best and best wishes from both of us and God bless you all. Thank you.
So thank you, teachers. Thanks all of you for coming and sharing your valuable thoughts. I hope this discussion will be helpful for the students who are sitting for the board exam. All the best. We hope that all of you pass your exam with flying colors.